This is Mirabella's Kitchen, and today I'm making Hungarian butter cookies. If you'd like to cook with me, please check the description below for a list of the ingredients and a shout out to my patrons. I take 1/4 cup of white sugar and add it to my stand mixer, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of salted butter, and the yolk of 1 egg. And I'm realizing that the amount of ingredients I just added to the stand mixer is very small and unlikely to even work in the stand mixer, but I'm gonna try anyways and see what happens. So using my whisk attachment, I put it on a very low speed. I'm trying to cream the butter and sugar together. I made the mistake of not letting my butter go to room temperature to cream it appropriately. I tried to use my whisk attachment to my immersion blender when I realized that this is not enough for my stand mixer. I had a puppy mom brain fart on forgetting to let my butter soften, so I just cut it up and kept going at it to let it kind of get fluffy, and it only partially worked. I'm not gonna lie. This is me being really real with everyone. I had a recipe that was given to me and there really weren't a lot of directions and I winged a lot of this, but it was really fun. So that's part of the journey, right? I take 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I use a spoon, add it to a measuring cup, and then I level off with the back. I put it through my sifter and I'm going to sift 1 cup of flour. I then added the wet ingredients to the sifted flour. In retrospect, I probably should have added the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and then continued incorporating with the whisk, but I think it would have just thrown the flour everywhere because in all honesty, this proportion doesn't seem to make sense to me. I started to combine everything with a spatula and then switched to using my hands, and it was very, very flaky, like pie crust. So with pie crust, you're not supposed to work it too much. I was very worried about overworking these cookies and it turning out very poorly. So I kind of form a ball with this dough and I take some pieces and I roll it up. The rolling would kind of fall apart at points, so I really had to really smush it, and again, worried I was going to overwork this dough. I formed them into crescents. I ended up doing about 6 crescent-ish shapes, and then I just did like 4 cookie shapes, like just circular. I put them in a 350-degree Fahrenheit preheated oven, and I'm going to check every 5 minutes until they are lightly brown. I did not have a time reference, so I decided to look every 5 minutes, and they just continued to stay white for a long time, and I was very anxious that I was messing this up. So once I saw the bottom started to brown, I took them out. It took me 14 minutes, though I recommend scaling it back to about 12 because the bottoms of mine were brown, darker than I wanted. Move them to a cooling rack to let them cool, and then I place them in a container and let them sit for 1 whole day as per the directions. And I hope I'm doing this right. I'm winging it. We're winging this together. So they smell very good. This is the next day, but they are hard as a rock, and I don't know if they're supposed to be. And I take some powdered sugar, put it through a sifter, and just do a nice light dusting on top, and they look much prettier than they did before because honestly, they were ugly cookies. So those are my Hungarian butter cookies, and the taste test. They pass. Thanks for joining me today on this crazy journey with this cookie recipe. I make new videos on cooking every Thursday. Please support me on Patreon and on Facebook at Mirabella's Kitchen.